off of a loss like this is going to be a little bit low confidence. But as soon as we review it and we see what we did wrong, talk about it, I think majority of us will be fine and brush it off and be better for the next series.
Hey guys, this is Pedro back with another interview, this time covering VCT Americas Stage 2 for playoffs. My guest at this time is Zander of 100 Thieves, this time coming off of their matchup against G2 Esports, losing 2-0 to thus go down to the lower bracket of set playoff phase. And so, Zander, thank you so much for the interview once again, and I really do appreciate it. Of course, this is coming off of a loss, so I assume it's pretty not feeling the best of emotions, but nevertheless, I gotta ask you, what is going through your mind at this current moment in time?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like legitimately the worst way to lose. How we just lost today. I think like regardless if they're a good team or not, like getting stomped on maps, 2 maps in a row, like kind of feeling like you can't do anything about it. It's definitely a terrible feeling, and yeah, I mean, you're gonna feel like this a lot throughout my career, and it's nothing more to do than just learn from it. I mean, although like it's easy to be discouraged or like feel bad about yourself or whatever to win, and we didn't do it today at all, and we got to be better. So we'll review it and learn.
Of course, obviously the first step of reviewing is looking into what went wrong for the team. And I mean, given what you said, did it kind of feel like nothing went right for this team from your point of view, or were there some things that you kind of like stood out to you most that affected how the team performed today in the series?
Yeah, I mean, weirdly enough, I feel like usually I have an answer to like what went wrong throughout a series. It's like one of those where I feel like I definitely have to watch it and review it to see what exactly went wrong. It's just like I think it's just small little details that weren't there. I think they played a really, really good game. I think everyone was like insane by them on their part, and I think we just played terrible as a team. I think individually as well. I think no one was really shooting. Nothing was really going right, and I think Sunset. I'll take most of the blame for that, and I think Haven is just yeah. We had nothing to like get going, and couldn't build momentum at all, and they used their momentum very well, and yeah, I mean, yeah, we'll review the VOD and have better answers.
Interesting, you mentioned about taking accountability for Sunset. In what facet do you feel like you're most responsible for that map?
I think like I mean, usually I'm like really good at adapting throughout the half, and I feel like regardless if we don't have reps against a specific comp, for example, I think we don't have many reps against a Sage specifically, and maybe even a Chamber. And because of that, maybe as a team we just didn't play well or like weren't ready for specific things. And but I think like going into the series and just knowing what a Sage can do, knowing what a Chamber could do, I called the small little micro things here and there that kind of just added up into a round loss because of it. And yeah, I mean, it's just like one of those where maybe if we had the rep in a scrim or anything like that, we could have a better time. But it's definitely something where I should be aware of because I know what those agents are capable of and what they do. And yeah, I think in that regards, I'll take accountability.
Given what you said about G2's, selection of the composition with as you said, the chamber and the sage, did it surprise you that they went that route and that kind of like, that surprisingness, kind of played into just sort of the difficulty of trying to counter their composition?
Yeah, I mean they're a team that plays. I won't say like off meta things in terms of because like the agents they play are really strong. It's just not of the norm for sure. I think even like their Haven comp, like not many teams play Viper, but there's definitely Viper comps out there and the Vice comps and whatnot. But definitely, yeah, Sunset like definitely not of the norm, and because I think they just have an advantage because of it, and obviously no Sunset VODs from them throughout the split, and maybe because of that it hurt us a bit for sure. But yeah, definitely affected us, and I think they have an advantage going into it because of that.
course, and that said, I mean, in a lot of ways, this can be the start of the turnaround in the playoff phase. It's just a matter of just getting it done and just being able to do so in time for that next matchup. And that said, you guys now go down to the lower bracket in this stage two. And with that said, there's plenty of pressure, I would assume, for this team, given that last chance of making the to champions. And so not only am I asking you about the prospect of going down to the lower bracket and just facing the challenge ahead, do you feel intimidated or more so pressured because of the high stakes surrounding this move to the lower bracket and the journey you have to take?
Yeah, I mean, not really intimidated. I just view it as like what we have to do to make it, and regardless if we have to win 7 games in a row, it's like it is what it is, and lower bracket run it is. But yeah, I mean, definitely sucks in a way. So because like obviously if we beat Leviathan, we would have been first seed, instantly gone into the bye phase, but maybe we would have played G2 regardless and got stomped the same way. So regardless, history might have did the same thing. So lower bracket run it was going to be regardless, and uh, yeah, I think everybody is like off of a loss like this is going to be a little bit low confidence. But as soon as we review it and we see what we did wrong, talk about it, I think majority of us will be fine and brush it off and be better for the next series.
One point that was brought up by the broadcast team in ahead of this matchup, regarding your team is sort of the map pool and the state of how it is in stage two. Obviously, you guys are the most strong in bind, and so obviously G2 kind of had that in mind when it came to banning that map in the ban or map ban phase. I want to ask you, how do you view the team's strength? And given that we've seen you guys perform in Sunset, go for Sunset, and also play Haven, how do you look at the team's map face, and what kind of confidence do you have going forward? Given that you have to kind of like rely on not just always playing bind for this kind of playoff environment.
Yeah, I think I mean obviously there should be question marks about our map pool. I feel like our bind obviously is really insane, but uh, I think we've always showed really good results on many maps in scrims. I think like we play, I mean even Lotus. I think we had like an 100% win rate on Lotus, and then we just play the match and obviously get 13-2'd. We scrape a win from Loud, and I don't think it's like I'll be honest, I don't think it's map pool. I think it's generally just how we are playing. I think we're just. I think like I think the first 2 series, like against Energy Crew, we were just simply having A days, and now we're just having like C and even D days on certain days, and we just can't really be having that. I think our map pool is actually relatively good in terms of scrim results, but yeah, we're just not really showing up on the day as a team, and because that maybe looks like our map pool is bad, but I don't think that's the case, and yeah, I don't think it's fair.
Another dimension that I want to ask you about this team is the now move towards mostly playing double duelist, and of course, having players like Alson and Cryo. Obviously, why wouldn't you? But
Mhm.
how has it been for you to direct this team in a meta like this, in which other teams are kind of doing the same thing while also like throwing in double duelist or double controller, double senti, kind of like what we
Mhm.
saw on Sunset. Um, how do you kind of look at your team's play style, and how has that been kind of like contrasting with everybody else in the league?
Yeah, I think obviously double duelist plays differently from like every other comp, maybe like double controller, double sentinel, like you mentioned, and I think it's definitely like a it's been a learning process for me, and specifically, I think we show really good results on most maps with it, but I think it's just one of those things where momentum when it's like against us is just really hard to climb back, and think we just have to like be a lot more adaptive as a team against like certain specific comps, and we have to be really quick on our feet when we are playing the double duelist comps. And I think we usually do a really good job on it at that. But just again, like on certain days, we're just like not really not really like clicking, and one thing leads to another, and we're doing things that are not necessarily good. And yeah, we just gotta like honestly just refocus, like focus on what we need to do better, and yeah, we'll be good for the lower bracket.
One more question before I wrap this one up. Now back onto the schedule for this 100 Thieves squad. Opponent being Evil Geniuses, what are your thoughts, your observations of that team ahead of your matchup with them later on down the line in a few days?
Evil Geniuses. I mean, yeah, they've shown like some good stuff. I feel like their team were like played often. I feel like we have a relatively good style against them, and yeah, I mean, I think generally we play well against them, but we're in a form right now where we just have to get out of, and as long as we're like, playing how we usually play in scrims or like even early into the stage, I think it should be relatively easier for us. But if we play like how we did today, I even think like we'll barely scrape a win. So yeah, confident going into the series for sure, but we definitely need to refocus for sure.
Think the sentence that you said at the very end is basically the theme for this process from now until the next matchup, and so hopefully you guys are able to make that happen in due time, of course. And so Xander, thank you so much for the opportunity for the interview. I really do appreciate giving me another opportunity to do this. Hopefully, like I can get more opportunities with you later on down the line. But still, best of luck goes to yourself and the rest of the squad for the next match.